Real quickly before we jump into the video, if you guys are interested in G Fuel at all, if you go over to gfuel.com right now and apply code ESPRESSO at checkout, it gives you 30% off for the next few days rather than just the standard 10%. So if you're looking to take advantage of a deal, now's a better time than ever. Let's head back to the regularly scheduled content. Yesterday, we got a title update for Black Ops 4, but that was only half the picture. It was something that gave us some Blackout, meta changes and core mechanics change and how the game itself actually played. But in terms of content, that's the big part that we got here today. It started Operation Absolute Zero. Tomorrow we'll see the winter-themed items come in as a part of that limited time collection as well. Then, of course, as of next week, Xbox One and PC will as well get these all. But that said, there was a ton added into the game, so let's talk about some of those core additions and some core changes that also came along with today's title update that were time-gated. So, first things first, a lot of you guys here on the channel are multiplayer guys. Let's start out with the multiplayer end. A lot of the big stuff came within the black market, and that's something that it makes sense because, again, it is the start of brand new operation, and air quote, season 2, if you will, in terms of Black Ops 4's content cycle. So let's start out with what actually came along with the brand new tiers of Black Ops 4. So Operation Absolute Zero brings along with it a complete revamp for the black market itself and how everything has worked. Instead of having 200 tiers for that max item, you now have 100 with all reserves starting after that. So it should, in theory, allow you to get all the items that are showcased right up front a lot quicker. And then of course you do have more things added in reserves. So in the long run, yes, it is still comparable to the amount of what you get out. It's just as a different placing of how it works. But you end up getting a lot of things. So we'll break down the big key portions here with this. And let's start out with the brand new specialist, that being Zero. So Zero is available right at level 1. And as of the time of actually getting my update and unlocking it, it was something where I had to play one game to unlock Zero to get to tier 1. That might be patched up right now. I know there were some bugs with Zero, so that might have been a part of it. But as it stands, I had to play one game and unlock Zero. It's something that really doesn't take all that long, but it is something that allows you then to get it. We'll have a full breakdown of the brand new specialist probably tomorrow, but you end up getting the ability of an EMP grenade that will take out equipment and specialist abilities as well as score streaks. And then you can end up having the ultimate, if you want to call it that, of the ice pick, which will allow you to hack enemy devices on the playing field and even the players themselves. So it's rather interesting, and I'm definitely excited to show you guys more of what to expect with that as of tomorrow. But if you guys want to just play around with it, feel free to. It is definitely an awesome addition, and if you don't end up using Zero for yourself, you're more than likely gonna run into quite a few instances of it in your games. I know that's one that goes like hotcakes, and of course everybody's spamming it as well. It can get a little bit annoying, but regardless, that is something that is available right off the bat at level 1 or tier 1 of the brand new Black Market Contraband stream. Additionally, there were a ton of different uniforms and customizations, so let's start out with the uniforms. There actually were a decent amount that are seemingly worth the grind in my books. If you like some character customization, I know it might not be everybody's favorite cup of tea, but to me, there were a bunch that were pretty solid. So my favorites here out of this were Ruin, which is the Ruin Aurora uniform granted at tier 5, and it's animated uniform where the Aurora Borealis is actually the animated part as well. It's got some portions of it that are additionally animated in terms of the stars, but that's something that, again, isn't the main focus, but it looks very cool. It almost reminds me of the Galaxy skin from Fortnite. I know that's a bad comparison, and I know a lot of you guys don't really like that, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. Additionally, the brand new Specialist Zero had a couple of ones that were pretty awesome. The Scorpion Queen is one that plays into the night theme that we see throughout the entire Contraband stream, and this one's also only unlocked at tier 15, so you can get that one rather easily. Definitely obtainable. The other cool one with Zero is Nebula, who is available at tier 85, so this one's a bit of a wait, but again, similar to the Ruin outfit, it's animated, it's got the Aurora Borealis theme, and has all sorts of cool effects. It also kind of reminds me of the OG Dark Matter from Black Ops 3, but maybe that's just me. Firebreak has a really cool one, that being the Dragon Slayer. This is the first of 2 warrior and knight themed ones we'll talk about in this list. There's a little breakaway from the next one we'll talk about, but then we come back to it. But this one just looks intimidating as hell if you ask me, and I love it. I'm all for it. I kind of want to play Firebreak just so I can use it. After that, we see the Recon Shogun as a samurai theme. That's one that's similar to the stuff we saw beforehand in pre-release data mined imagery, but it's awesome to actually finally have it. And the final one is the Battery Queen's Guard, which is the tier 98 reward, so still a ways off for a lot of people, but it's part of the night theme, and this one is honestly really killer. It could totally look ugly for some players, and I totally get that because it is quite bulky, but I'm a huge fan of it for sure. One huge addition to the black market and contraband stream are actual camos, not anything that we see with just signature weapons, but actual camos. In the black market contraband stream, we end up seeing that we have a couple that are available for all use, and then there are a couple that are just reactive camos. So we firstly have the Kilobyte available for all weapons at tier 4. This one's a more so green texture to it. It's got a little shimmer to it, but it's nothing too insane, but it is a nice little camo to break away from what you may be used to as is. At tier 20, you end up having the Plasma Drive KN57 reactive camo, and I honestly love this camo. This might be my favorite here out of the bunch and everything that we have so far on deck, but that is one that is activated whenever you go and look at the challenge by getting direct action kills. Now, I had a bunch of tweets asking me what this was about, and so far it seems like I got it at least by doing this exact method. The direct action kills are the ones you end up getting with absolutely no help, so you do all the damage for that kill to be secured. The easiest way I can say to suggest this is playing some hardcore. I literally got this camo in about a minute's time. That's probably the easiest way to do it, but the cool part about this is that it has a couple of different variations here for it, but then it goes on rotation. So you have your base variant, then you have 1 kill, then 2 kills, and then on that 3rd kill, it resets back to the original. So it just goes on a cycle and a loop here for this, and you just constantly change your camo on the KN throughout the game. I'm a fan of that one, but moving along also into that, we see that there is the Shimmer camo available at tier 60, and this is one that is available again for every single weapon. You can place it on anything you want. It's not designated just to one specific. After that, we end up seeing the Dogfight reactive camo for the Spitfire only. And this one is a 5 kill streak that you have to end up getting. That one's available at tier 70. It's quite cool. Again, it has a couple of different variations here for it that you guys can check out. One at the start of the game, one at 3 kills, one at 8 kills, and then one at 15 kills. And then afterwards, it just continues as is. And that's all for the camos in the Contraband stream. Outside of camos, we see that there is one signature weapon available right up front, that being the ABR-223 Fighter Ace. This one's pretty cool, and it's one that is certainly off the beaten path. It has wings on it, so that's pretty cool and rather interesting, but it also has that sort of airborne and bomber jacket style to it, where you have the airborne pins and you also have the jacket material on it as well. So very cool, definitely one that I wish the ABR was a little bit more powerful, because without it being kitted out with attachments in the operator mod, it doesn't really hold its weight in core, but it's still one that's really fun to play around with, no less. So check that one out. It's available at tier 75, but moving along a little further, one quick mention here is that the way that Mastercraft's work actually did change. If you go in and take a look at how your camos are situated and you want to try and find it, you might notice you have your performance, your technical, and your mastery, but not your reactive or your Mastercraft anywhere to be found on the same page. This is something you have to go over to the Black Market tab, in which you now have Black Market camos, the reactive camos, and the Mastercraft camos listed there as well. At first, I thought there was some bug where I didn't get the Paladin variant and I didn't get the ABR-223 because I was going in and trying to select the actual signature weapon of those weapons, like what you had to do with Season 1 content of the ICR, the Titan, as well as the GKS. But that's actually not how it works this time. Those icons and signature variants are still actually available to be selected, but the new ones are not the same way. So it might confuse you at first, but all you gotta do is go into your camos and then tab over to the left and you'll see your reactive and Mastercraft camos. Outside of camos, you had brand new characters for Blackout in the Contraband stream. Of those, we had Dempsey and Nikolai, the Ultimus versions of those, but I'm curious where Takeo and Richtofen are, or if they're in reserves, because we saw those in the trailer as of yesterday previewing all of this content, yet we don't have them in the character selections, and we don't have them in the Contraband stream. So kind of curious where these are going, but that said, they're available for you guys to check out. As for brand new weapons, probably the big things everybody are concerned about here out of this, at tier 25, 50, and 100 is when you get those weapons. Tier 25 is the Ice Pick, the Secret Santa. Tier 50 is the Damon 3XB SMG, and the tier 100 reward is the SWAT RFT. Now the SWAT actually isn't half bad. It's still, I don't know if I would say is my main choice. One thing that it definitely has going for it is a lack of recoil. It is a laser pointer, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like it's as powerful as other rifles. So it's kind of a trade-off there, but it is still worthwhile. So unfortunately, it is locked behind that entire timed progress of going through for ages, or if you want to pay the money upright. But the nice part is that I don't think that it's pay to win. I don't think that it's something that right now is game-breaking and that people that don't have it are really missing out on. The Damon 3XB is one that I still am trying to get the hang of whether I like it or not. It's a burst weapon like we've talked about before, but it also doesn't seem to be all that powerful in the damage. So kind of a trade-off. And the melee weapon, well, that's just a melee weapon. So think of that however you will. Other things include emotes, more stickers, more calling cards, and one big question that a lot of people I know had was of the reserve content. If you're like me and didn't get the SG-12 boombox or something else you wanted, don't worry because you haven't lost the chance forever. The reserve content from last season still rolls over into this season, so it's still available, but you might be testing your luck a little further with more content added in on the loot pool on top of that. As for your shop and special order content, there are actually camos available right now. We have one available for purchase that is a reactive camo for the Koshka, that's $5, and of course you can check that out on screen what it looks like in its different variations. Then you also had a $3 for purchase Cherry Blossom Classic camo from Black Ops 2. These I'm actually okay with, I think. The reactive camo is a little pricey, but it is something that for the Cherry Blossom in particular, this is right around the same price point as what we saw back in Black Ops 2 and Ghost, if I'm not mistaken. So that's something that, so long as I can apply them to every single weapon, I actually don't think that I have a big problem with camos being sold that way. It's very similar to what we saw in the past in a system that we've kind of asked for before. Additionally, in the special orders portion of Blackjack's shop, you end up seeing there is one for the Valkyrie, Mastercraft of the Paladin. It also gives you a uniform as well. This one, I honestly really enjoyed that Paladin variant. I ended up getting it, it's something you don't have to do, but the Paladin itself looks very cool. The uniform fits very well, also coming in with that gladiator theme and knight theme that we've had across the board so far in Season 2. And then you also have another Ajax skin following that theme also, if you want to take advantage of it. But that said, kind of rounding this out here, my notes on the black market this time around is that while it's not perfect, it is, I think, much better than what we had in Season 1 or in Operation First Strike. There's not as much junk in the loot pool. There are camos that you can actually use and customize and see that customization in-game because, let's face it, 90% of your character model with a uniform you can't see. But what's also nice is that with everything that you see up front and being those first portions of what you have 70 days to put in about 100 hours of game time. Plus, if you log in every single day, that's a huge chunk of the pass guaranteed by just getting that daily tier skip out of the way. So it's something that I think definitely is handled a lot better than last season, but I want to showcase everything here for you guys and let you know exactly what there was. So my hope here for this portion of the video is simply to allow you to make your own informed decision, whether or not you want to grind it, whether you think it's worth your time, or if you really want something and you think it's worth it if you want to put the money into it. But again, that's all on your own choice. I just wanted to give you the cold hard facts and let you know what's there. But moving over into the other portions of the game, Blackout did get some adjustments here, though yesterday's update was a big portion of that. We ended up seeing Hijacked was introduced. This one is a lot of fun, but it also is a death trap. I'll be totally honest with you. One of the first games I jumped in on, there had to have been at least 20, 30, 40 people there because I could only see parachutes in the sky. I couldn't really even see much of the area around the boat. But regardless, there's 3 main levels, the upper balconies, the deck, and then the basement. The basement's actually not half bad. Not a lot of people go down there initially, so you might be able to grab some loot if you end up coming in from the side, or if you end up making your way down there quicker, but it is something there usually is a helicopter spawn there, or a boat spawn, but definitely high action if you're looking to get in and get some quick kills. Might be a good way to do it. Additionally, brand new trails were added in for whenever you first initially drop into the map. It's a fun little feature, nothing that really is game breaking or too changing like that, and so far we don't have any customization for that, but it might be coming in the future. There's a new vehicle of the ARAV or the ARAV. It's an armored vehicle in which there's a turret on the back, but it offers again a little more added protection being armored. Those spawn around the map in various locations. I haven't pinpointed the exact location of every single one, but they are around. Additionally, we ended up having new characters. Firstly, Reaper's actually back as a part of the Black Ops Pass. I didn't see that one coming, if I'm honest with you. He's kind of out of left field, but he's available in Blackout now for season pass holders. Plus, you also have Dempsey and Nikolai, the Ultimus form from the Black Market Contraband stream. Then we also have brand new Chaos Crew variants, the 9 variants of those characters, and there's new challenges for those found in-game. I already came in contact with the Diego and Shaw one who need the Mayan Crest and the Ritual Bowl, but the other ones I'm still hunting for. So if you guys see those, feel free to let me know, and of course, let me know in the comments so other people can also see. And as well, Zero is playable in Blackout, but that's all there is for those brand new characters. We kind of breezed past the mention of the Black Ops Pass, but we did get our first offering for the Black Ops Pass content. We have 2 brand new maps, Madagascar and Elevation for multiplayer. Madagascar's pretty huge compared to other maps, a lot of open areas and some really weird map flow if you ask me. Elevation is smaller than Madagascar, but still a bit more on par with the word large, but it's a little bit more tight and narrow and more so suited for CQC opportunities, though there are longer lines of sight that do exist. And then we have the first Zombies offering, Dead of the Night, this taking place in 1912, and I'm excited to see where this goes here. I know a lot of the Zombies community has been Easter egg hunting all day for this one, but it looks intriguing. I'm definitely excited to see where this goes, and I'm gonna have to hop on once I get a free moment to try it out. That said, other changes though, rounding out this video, the big question that I got in detail was for the new sensitivity settings. If I'm not mistaken, this was added in as of yesterday, but we have the brand new options for the ADS sensitivity and the high zoom sensitivity, to which you can go from 0.25 all the way up to 4 times the sensitivity of what is the default of 1. Now these simply deal with what you have for your sensitivity while you're aimed down sight. The ADS sensitivity deals with your ELO, your recon, your 3 times, but then when you get to the high zoom sensitivity setting, that's when you deal with 4 times optics and sniper scopes, but it's essentially how fast you can move while ADS'd. This isn't anything that's brand new to the game itself as a whole, but it is to console. This was available on PC for quite some time, but these now being available for console kind of bring it up to a more level playing field of an across-the-board level for customization with your settings. Additionally, Blackjack's gun game is back. Chaos Control is already out, so if you want to play around some gun game, either just for the fun of that, or if you want to check out some of the new weapons and don't really have opportunities to get them in a regular match, this is a great way to do so. There also is snow in Blackjack's shop as a little fun minor detail you may have missed, and things that we've yet to see are the brand new Blackout mode in terms of what was detailed in yesterday's trailer. But that said, that is everything that changed here with today's update. Tomorrow, again, we get that new thematic content for the Black Market Contraband stream. That'll go for probably 20-25 days or so is my guess, but that'll be available for a limited time. And other than that, there really isn't all that much. So a huge amount of content dropped today. Hopefully this was something that it covered every question you may have, or it may have allowed you to see everything in depth. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I know it was a little longer of a video, and I do apologize, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. What's your favorite part here out of this? Are you excited for anything that was added in, or maybe not so much in terms of the excitement levels for anything that was added in? Feel free to let me know in the comments, but subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Want to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 4, multiplayer, Blackout, zombies. We got you covered the best of all of that. News, updates, information, tips, tricks, best class setups, guides, whatever it is, we got you covered. So if you're interested in any of that, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those, so if you want to check those out, links in the description below. Well, that said, out of the way, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. My name's been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.